Hey, how's it going, YouTube? I'm back in another video, and today I'm going to be talking about what can the Brooklyn Nets do when the NBA restarts. Now, I know it's been a while since my last video, and it's mainly been because I've been lazy, and that is my fault. I'll try to get more videos out for y'all. I'm so sorry. I've been showing tons of support, and that is completely my fault for being lazy. And also, if you hear background noise, that is because I think someone's cutting grass. There's nothing I can do about that. So yeah, in this video, we're going to be getting to the Brooklyn Nets and what can they do when the NBA restarts. As you know, they're one of the teams that have been completely demolished by their players not being able to enter the bubble and everything. So really, this Brooklyn Nets team is just a shell of what it once was. So I'm going to be going into the current state of the Brooklyn Nets and what they can actually do once they do get into the NBA restart themselves. So yeah, I'm beginning all that in this video. So if you do like the video, aim point, hit the like button and subscribe button. It would mean the absolute world to me. And without further ado, without running on too much, just get right into this video. Alright, so let's get into the current state of the Brooklyn Nets. Well, before the NBA stopped, they had a pretty solid starting lineup of Spencer Dinwiddie, Caris LeVert, Joe Harris, Terrence Prince, and Jarrett Allen. Now, looking at that is a pretty solid starting lineup. Jarrett Allen's a good rim protector. Spencer Dinwiddie is a very underrated player. Same with Caris LeVert. Joe Harris is a three-point sniper, and Terrence Prince can do stuff down low as well and is a solid player. And they already had Kyrie and Kevin Durant were already out. Those are the only two big names that were out of their roster at that current moment. So they were looking fairly solid going into the playoffs, looking like they're going to be a first round exit team, but they're going to be a hard team to face in the first round. You'd rather not face them in the first round. They're one of those teams, you know what I'm saying? Well, going in, probably after the NBA stopped, they were feeling pretty confident about their chances of at least making the playoffs. Well, now going into the restart, they now have a starting lineup that consists of Tyler Johnson, Caris LeVert, Joe Harris, Rodney Kirkus, and Jarrett Allen. Now, y'all might be like, well, that's only two players gone. Well, Spencer Dinwiddie was their best scorer. He will no longer be there. Terrence Prince was a starter, and now they have Rodney Kirkus as their starter, which is a pretty significant loss at the power forward position. But not only is their starting lineup significantly worse than what it was going before the restart, well, now their bench is also much, much worse, as they are losing key players like DeAndre Jordan, Terrence Prince, Wilson Chandler, and Nick Claxton. All of them are sitting out the remainder of the season, and that is going to be very bad, as this has prompted them to sign players like a 40-year-old Jamal Crawford and Michael Beasley, who still has to serve time for a suspension that he did not serve almost 2 years ago, something like that. So he's not going to be able to play the first 5 games. And Jamal Crawford, although I do think he's decent, he's 40 years old. How much can you really rely on a 40-year-old point guard coming off your bench to really help your team score and win? And the biggest thing is going to be, how is this team going to be able to do anything offensively? Spencer Dinwiddie is their best player offensively after Kyrie and Kevin Durant were out, and now they don't even have him. So really, the best offensive player on this team is going to be Caris LeVert. And Caris LeVert is a solid player, but he is no player that can carry an offense on a team. He's just not that good yet. I think he's a very solid player, but he is not good enough to carry an offense, especially in a playoff series. So I mean, this team is going to be struggling in many aspects of their games, and Michael Beasley might help a little bit offensively, same with Jamal Crawford, but I mean, they're both past their prime. Jamal Crawford's 40 years old, almost retirement home age. Michael Beasley hasn't played in years. He's still serving suspension. I mean, how good can you really expect them, or how much can you really expect them to help an offense going into a NBA playoff series? I don't think they're going to help very much. So with that being said, I really just think this team is really going to struggle offensively, and that starting lineup and just their overall depth on this team is not going to be enough to really help them do anything of substance and when the NBA restarts. But what can they actually do when the NBA starts? Well, the 8 teams they're going to be playing when they do come back, they're scheduled to play, are the Orlando Magic, the Washington Wizards, the Milwaukee Bucks, the Boston Celtics, the Sacramento Kings, and the Clippers, and also the Portland Trail Blazers. They're playing the Orlando Magic twice, by the way. So their biggest game is going to be against the Washington Wizards, who are currently the 9th seed out east, and the only team that they brought back that wasn't already in the playoffs out east. So obviously that's going to be their biggest competition, and with them already being the 7th seed, and I'm pretty sure they're right now 6 games ahead of the Washington Wizards, well, I can still see them pretty fairly making the playoffs, because they can still beat the Washington Wizards. Bradley Beal is no longer going there. John Wall's not coming back. So, I mean, the Washington Wizards are most likely not going to be winning many games either, which will not be enough to help them make it into the playoffs. So, With that being said, I still think the Brooklyn Nets will make the playoffs, but assuming they stay at the 7th or 8th seed, they're going to have to be playing either the Toronto Raptors or the Milwaukee Bucks. So either the defending champions or a finals favorite out of the East. So either way, they're pretty much screwed in the first round. I mean, they just don't have the talent. Let's be honest, the team led by Tyler Johnson and Karis LeVert as their guard duo is just not good enough and should never be in the playoffs, but with these circumstances, have to be in the playoffs. So, I mean, I just don't think they have much of a chance at all. I mean, defensively, they're not going to be able to do much. Yes, Jared Allen's a good defender, but I mean, Jamal Crawford's probably not going to be the best defender. Michael Beasley is just not a good defender. Karis LeVert is a solid defender, but not great. I mean, Ryan Kirkus, he's not very athletic. He's probably going to get exposed a little bit in the power forward position. Tyler Johnson is a backup level point guard at best, so he's not really a starting level point guard either. So their team all around really can't really do much at all in the playoffs, and I do think they're going to get swept pretty easily by whoever they play in the first round. They just don't have a playoff team anymore, and they are by far the team that got destroyed the most. I like the Brooklyn Nets going into it, and then their entire team said, nah, we can't come, and now they have a G League team going out there with a few NBA players sprinkled in. So it's going to be very interesting to see what they do and how they do play together with the lack of chemistry, but I don't think it's going to do anything good. I think they're going to be one of the worst teams left in the bubble and left in the playoffs. But unfortunately, guys, that's going to be my first video. So comment below, do you agree with me? Do you think the Nets are going to be bad? Do you think they're going to be good? I want your thoughts in the comment section below. If you like the video, point to like button and subscribe button. It would mean the absolute world to me. And hope you have a blessed day. Have a blessed day. So you need to have a blessed day. See you in the next video. Goodbye. Boo. Blah.